Is it true that you put part of her into the garbage disposal?
Her vocal cords.
Why?
Because I couldn't shut her up. She wanted to destroy me with words, literally, so I shut her up for good.
So this is Mindhunter, and this is Sex Education.
Oh, Mom! Oh, I'm sorry!
And this is Money Heist.
Take cover!
Guess which one of them got cancelled? The answer is pretty simple, yet still a bit sad. The cancelled series was David Fincher's masterpiece Mindhunter, which was cancelled after 2 seasons. On the other hand, the Money Heist has 5 seasons and a spin-off, and the Sex Education has 4 seasons. Let's find out why. Recently, I was watching some videos where people were asked what they think is the best series of all time. Surprisingly, I saw that quite a few people were saying the name of the Sex Education and the Money Heist.
So what is your favorite TV series of all time?
Education. Yeah. Money Heist. Yeah.
Not one single person talked about Mindhunter. The more I tried to understand the reason, the more it was clear and the more I got sad. If we look at Sex Education, what do we find? What is this series about? Sex Education follows a character called Otis who is a socially awkward high school student. His mother Jean is a sex therapist and he learned a lot about sexual problems through his mother, and he is also a natural about solving sexual problems.
My name is Melbourne. I am a sex therapist.
So he opens a secret clinic in the school where other high school students come with their problems.
You should probably think about, things you enjoy when it's just you.
So you're prescribing a wank?
Yeah.
The series also contains a romantic angle between Otis and Maeve.
You're a complete moron!
No, I'm not.
That was a rhetorical question. Don't touch me.
Just trying to help.
Don't.
The writing of the series is pretty solid and there are some good moments like this.
But love isn't about grand gestures or the moon and the stars. It's just dumb luck. And sometimes you meet someone who feels the same way. And then sometimes you're unlucky.
This is a series that was meant to be liked by all. There is romance, there is nudity, and most importantly, most of the time the show has to deal with different sexual problems, and since sex is always an interesting thing for the general audience, they definitely loved Sex Education. On the other hand, Money Heist is about a mysterious guy called the Professor who recruits a team to enter the Royal Mint of Spain and attempt to escape with 984 million euro. During the heist, they were surrounded by the police and the police believed that the thieves had no way out. However, the professor always had a bigger plan in his mind to solve every upcoming problems. There are twists and turns in every corner, there is action, there is romance, there is betrayal, and there are shocking factors. Now tell me, what part of the series is not built to be loved by the general audience? This series has every single thing for the mass people, and it worked like a charm for Netflix. Money Heist became one of the most successful series on Netflix. The worldwide fans loved the series and celebrated like hell. Now let's talk about Mindhunter. What is Mindhunter about? 2 FBI agents, Holden Ford and Bill Tench, try to understand what drives serial killers to do what they do, how a person becomes a serial killer, what is the effect of the surrounding society and family in this case. Are those things responsible for serial killers to become serial killers?
They were your followers, Charlie. You gave them the knife.
You taught them. I didn't teach them. I just tried to help them stand up.
And they stood up, went out, and killed 7 innocent people.
Was it now it's my fault?
They try to understand it because back then there were no studies on such topics. In the eye of the law, every murder was just a normal murder. Every murderer was just a regular criminal for them. That has to be changed because the criminal behavioral patterns of serial killers do not match the pattern of a normal criminal's crime pattern. So it was important to understand the serial killers. So they interview some of the most notorious serial killers like Charles Manson and Ed Kemper. Along the way, the 2 FBI agents pioneered the development of modern serial killer profiling. Most of the scenes of this series are slow-paced conversation scenes with serial killers. There are some very few intense, fast-paced scenes that create an adrenaline rush for the general audience, but there are hardly any twists and turns in the events. Romance and sex are not the vital points of this series. This series focused on psychological problems like childhood abuse that cause future damage, racism, and politics that affect the investigation process, and most importantly, how the investigations affect the investigator's mind. Now tell me, why do the modern young audiences who love TikTok Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and Facebook Reels should love a slow-paced psychological series like Mindhunter. There is absolutely no reason. Series that contains interesting sexual scenes and romantic problems like sex education should be popular than the Mindhunter. This is actually pretty normal. Series that has twists and turns and betrayals like Money Heist should be more popular than the Mindhunter. It is that simple and normal, but still I feel horrible and heartbroken realizing that one of my most favorite series and one of the most brilliant series will never ever have another season just because people did not watch it enough and preferred series like Sex Education and Money Heist over it. This is just pure sad. I have nothing more to say. Even Fincher said that in an interview. He said, and I quote, "In the eyes of Netflix, we didn't attract enough of an audience to justify such an investment. It is what it is."
I could kill you now pretty easily. Do some interesting things before anyone showed up. Then you'd be with me in spirit.